Ladies and gentlemen, every single day we hear from President Donald Trump, other Trump administration officials, and General Flynn, and we're used to it. But every now and then they come out and they say something so shocking that it shakes the very foundations of Washington, D.C. and politics all over the world. See, they reveal something so damning against the deep state that the deep state starts lawyering up and scrambling, trying to figure out what their next excuse or lie is gonna be. And today's one of those days. They are shaking, we are rejoicing, because what General Flynn just exposed is gonna have people arrested. I guarantee it. You want to stick around for this one. Smash that thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you tuning in from? Let's get right into it. First, I'm going to show you this post from him. Then I'm going to play you a video he posted. This is all within the last few hours. He says, this is the type of bullshit that is happening across the USG, and it has to end. People's heads need to roll. To discover where this came from is a very simple process. If true, let's hope the FBI does the right thing to catch these treasonous bastards. Here's what he's talking about. In Washington, D.C. on January 3rd, 26, in a triumphant display of President Trump's unyielding resolve for national security, the Department of National Intelligence under Director Tulsi Gabbard has revealed CIA intelligence exposing a desperate Democratic attempt to sabotage a United States military operation. A brave whistleblower from within the DNI provided documents to CBS News showing how Democratic leadership, traced back to House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries' office, tried to tip off Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro about an impending capture mission. However, the warning arrived moments too late. Maduro was already in U.S. custody, being flown away in a military helicopter after a flawless operation. President Trump's strategic appointment of Gabbard has been key in unearthing this treachery, proving once again his administration's prowess in neutralizing threats, both foreign and domestic. Somebody in the DNI's office came forward to say Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats were warning. They were sending warnings to the Venezuelan dictator. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the FBI needs to get involved. They need to arrest these people. Now, this video right here, we're just going to watch the whole 3 minutes uninterrupted, is right after the 2020 election. He's talking about foreign intervention, foreign intelligence in our election systems. And he posted this last night, telling us Maduro was not just arrested for oil and drugs. It's over elections.
We have had foreign interference from multiple countries. I'll rattle them off here if you want to get into that. And Donald Trump was the clear winner. For the next 4 days after the 3rd of November, from about the 4th through the 7th, 8th of November, they just started stuffing the ballot boxes, and everybody knows it. And they got caught. They got caught with their hands in the proverbial cookie jar. So that's where we are. So we have clear evidence of a foreign interference, which is all the president's executive order describes. That's the executive order from 2018. He reinstituted it in 2019. He reinstituted it again in 2020. And so we are essentially in a national emergency that the president has already declared. He just has to decide whether to execute some of those procedures that are well within his authority. So we have foreign interference from China. We have foreign interference from Serbia. We have foreign interference from Italy, from Spain, from Germany. And then on the 30th of October, 2020, so a couple of days before the 3rd of November election, and then on the 3rd of November, the FBI and CISA, which is that guy Krebs, right? Krebs, who came out and said, hey, there's no foreign interference at all about a week after the election. CISA is a Homeland Security cybersecurity agency. On the 30th of October, 2020, and on the 3rd of November, both in what's called a joint intelligence advisory, the FBI and CISA issued an advisory saying that Iran is mucking around in our election system. They were doing it on the 3rd of November, which is the day of the election. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security both said there's foreign interference in our election on election day by the country of Iran. equal branches, but the president is actually, he's not a branch. He is a person voted on by the majority of this country. And it's not by happenstance that the oath of office that the president of the United States takes, if you go back and you look at the founding fathers and the arguments that they had, actually, and for those that want to dig into it, it's Federalist Paper number 73. And you look at it as to why they chose those words. Because the president of the United States has a responsibility to protect the Constitution. Everybody else can scream about it. The courts can say, we're not going to do anything about it, like the Supreme Court did. But the president has the responsibility, the duty, and the authority to act. And it's above the others because there's something called national security. And national security, for all intents and purposes, is the responsibility of one person, and that's the United States president.
There's a reason he posted this last night. There's a reason he came out and, he shared the DNI report, and then he shared this video all together. The reason Trump is going after Maduro. There are other dictators in the world that we could be going after way worse than Maduro. But he is the puppet who's at the top with the others, with Iran, China, Russia, all these other communists and, adversaries of ours. And when we look at the way Europe, where they're headed, Europe would have been using Maduro and his regime against the United States and against the patriots of this nation within just a few years. Because let's face it, Europe they're done. They're cooked. That empire has fallen. They just still don't realize it yet. But they're cooked. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you, he's already snitching on Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi's, on Obama, on Biden, on everybody. He's there right now in the New York detention center talking. And I love it. I can't wait to hear the tapes. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. I got more stuff coming your way. God bless you.